there is a healthy call within this philosophy for us not to forget our humanity in pursuing what we think is divinity. We back, baby, with another reflection on the daily Vedantic. Yesterday I talked about the path of progress. Looks a whole lot like, it might be a company, it might be self-development, a whole lot like 5 steps forward, 2 steps back, 4 steps forward, 3 steps back. I even mentioned that every stock in history could be Apple at $1 trillion company, and it still has its ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs. In fact, Apple almost, before, as Steve Jobs came back, I think had six weeks of cash left. So many companies, also some of the best companies in the world, maybe I'd go even so far as to say the majority of companies at some point, if they're around long enough, have some near-death experiences. And that is because so much of progress, a couple steps forward, a couple steps back, a couple steps forward, a couple steps back. It is so contrary to what we think when we just think of our progress like it should be on a GPS map, where it goes from where we are to where we want to be with absolutely no backtracking. That is not development. That is not our evolution. Spiritual, philosophical evolution rarely looks like that. And that is why there is a healthy call within this philosophy for us not to forget our humanity in pursuing what we think is divinity. This is both a safety net, and it prevents us from flying too close to the sun and the wings melting off. The safety net aspect is just recognize that we are going to fall. We're going to fall backwards. We are going to regress, seemingly regress, feel like we regress. But that regression, the 2 steps backwards, maybe actually it's just a sensitivity to, let's use an example. You think you're making mistakes because, God, why did I say that? I study this philosophy. I really try to live an unselfish life, and I still did that thing that was just so selfish. Don't beat yourself up over it. As I've touched on in different episodes, regret is one of the most useless emotions. In the human canon of emotions, regret serves almost no purpose. Learn from something, but bounce back, as is said in this philosophy, like a rubber ball, not like a lead plate, because regret does not serve the community around you. You wallowing in regret, kicking yourself, destroying the energy around you because you're really indulging in some masochistic behavior of it feels good to just like pile it on because of some maybe internal dialogue you learned somewhere along in life. And that regret saps that day, that moment, saps that moment of the opportunity for you to rise to the challenge, to actually provide energy to the community around you instead of, oh, woe is me. Why did I make that mistake? And people catch that bad mood, that bad energy like a cold. But that's the safety net, is don't forget your humanity in our pursuit of what we think is divinity. It's one of the most important things that we can and we benefit from remembering is our humanity. Knowing our level. You know, if you're a high school tennis star and you lose against top 10 player in the world, maybe you can learn a lot, reflect on that game, but should you go around feeling like a loser? If you really know your level, if you know that that top 10 player is several years ahead of you, several levels ahead of you, and you're actually on the right path instead of, oh, I'm no good, I'm a loser, I'm going to hang it up. That's complete ignorance of our level. Knowing our level and just being like, yeah, I made that decision in business and that was not the most ethical thing. That was not even remotely ethical, but I made that decision. That's my level. In the midst of 10 forks in the road, 1 or 2 out of those 10, you're going to take the lower path. That's okay. And if you're taking the higher path, 8 out of 10, then you're living quite the healthy, spiritual, philosophical life. The other side of the coin is also true, not forgetting the humanity in our pursuit of divinity, not as the safety net, but knowing, oh, you know what? I actually, when I really want to talk about this philosophy with others, and I'm quote unquote pursuing the higher and divinity, is it actually just egoism in another form? Presenting some exotic topic, dinner conversations to sound above others? Is my pursuit in divinity of something like, I want to pursue a path towards bliss, is that just my humanity talking and thinking? Oh, that sounds like, say it every once in a while, I had this concept of pursuing a deeply spiritual path because I just straight up thought it would be like a spiritual escape pod where it would take me to bliss and leave all of sorrow and agitation of this world behind. Purely selfish. It's like a conversation I had with someone I know back home in Dallas about the idea of pursuing a Christ-like path because you feel like it's going to get you into heaven, eternal bliss. You're going to be saved from a lake of fire. There's a version of that could not be more hedonistic than saving up money so you can go to Cancun and rage your face off with every drug under the sun. There is a version of that is just delayed gratification, but hedonism nonetheless. It's quite a common version. There are 4 approaches to spirituality in the Gita, as outlined in the Gita, where one is for relief. You're going through a really tough time, and so you turn to timeless wisdom, or you turn towards prayer and divine. You kneel inside of your bed, literally or metaphorically, just praying, God, can you take this suffering away from me? Seeking relief. Then there's seeking prosperity. God, can you give me these things that I really want? That eternal bliss. That sounds so nice. Seeking prosperity in the same way. I mean, that's just a difference of degree of eating a bunch of candy. Then there's a third path towards curiosity. It's just maybe a interest, a fascination, a curiosity. If these principles, if this religion, or if this community down the street gathers each Sunday, I wonder what it's like. I wonder what it would be like to have a community. And maybe it'd be a community tied to higher values, but it's curiosity. It's not a pursuit of transformation. And then there's the fourth, a real pursuit, the selfless pursuit, where it's not just, hey, here is maybe a route that I haven't tried that I'm going to try out where I can gain more. And it's the opposite of that, of maybe there's some truth to this where this is the route where I can give more. I can become more, not for myself, but become more so that I can give more, so that I can turn my craft into an offering, or even more, surrender into becoming the offering. Maybe it's to your community. Maybe it's to humanity as a whole. But it is selfless instead of selfish. That's the real devoted path towards the divine. But in any of these, it's okay to recognize, oh wow, that selfish aspect is very strong within me. Or you stumble, fall, backtrack, and recognize, yeah, that's my level. 4 steps forward, 2 steps back is just where I am right now. Might be 4 steps forward, 3.5 steps back. just where I am right now. You're still half a step forward. And it is also the recognition of, oh yeah, there's a significant portion of me, maybe the vast majority of me, pursues this because it just works in making me more effective, accumulating more, getting more in the world. That's okay too. It's perfectly natural. This is a version of knowing our level and not forgetting, not acting above, and not admonishing ourselves in the midst of our humanity while in pursuit of divinity. That's today's reflection on the daily Vedantic. We'll see you next time.